Hi everyone, welcome to Hansraj e-Samvaad. In the previous lecture, we discussed the two short tribal songs. First, the Munda song by the Munda tribe, and then the Kond song by the Kond tribe. This lecture will now be on the Adi song by the Adi tribe. This lecture, as you know, is part of the ongoing lecture series on readings on Indian diversity and literary movements, and currently we are doing the unit on tribal verses. My name is Piyush Chaudhary, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Hansraj College, and I welcome you all once again. It's great to see you back again. Now, tribal songs are basically, very closely related to everyday life, the everyday surroundings, and the tribals usually live in, and the literature that they write, it is predominant, with images of nature, and there is a sense of respect and of coexistence and a mutual respect for all living beings. Why? This is because tribal communities, they accept a worldview in which they believe that they are also part of the larger universe. They don't want to control the universe, but rather they want to coexist with the universe. This is very, very important. So they actually believe in a worldview in which nature, man, and God, all these three elements, they are all intimately linked together. So they are not here to conquer nature, but rather to live peacefully with nature. And that is why nature is their first home. And all the oral literatures of the tribals, they, you will notice that they express, that there is this sense of close relation between their community and nature. In the previous two songs, the Kond song and the Munda song, we notice that there is a close interrelation with nature and humans in those two tribal songs which we read. This third one, the Adi song, will have a similar feature on display as well, right? So let us now go to the third song, and that is the Adi song for the recovery of lost health. So it is basically, a song which is sung when a person is sick and when a person has fallen ill. So it's kind of a blessing for the person, this song, right? And in this song, they are wishing for the person to attain his good health back. This song is usually sung in Adi tribes, which is, a tribe which is mostly present in the northeastern part around the Brahmaputra Valley, right? So in this tribe, this song is mostly sung by the maternal uncle of the person who has fallen sick in that particular tribe. So that person sings it, for his for the other people, right? For the person who has fallen ill. So, and the singer is asking for good health to come back to the person. So whenever a first person falls sick, and whenever a person falls ill in their community, in the Adi community, they sing this song so that the old health comes back, to that particular person. That is why it is titled as the Adi song for the recovery of lost health, right? This is the name of the title which is given to this poem, right? So originally there is no title. This is just a title which is given in a very kind of a generic manner, right? The original song has no title. So similarly, in the previous two songs, if you remember when we read the Munda song and the Kond song, there were no titles to those particular songs. Okay, now coming back to this song, which is the song for the recovery of lost health, let me start reading the song line by line, and here we go. The poet writes, "Oh, my beloved one, if you lost your health due to luck, I come forward here to save you with this emule to call back your health." Right? So, two very striking elements are visible, in these four lines that we just now read. Firstly, it's that the tribes believe in luck. They believe in omens, they believe in nature. And secondly, they also believe in wearing certain amulets. So this emule which is being mentioned here, he says, "I come forward here to save you with this emule." It is kind of an amulet, in the hand, which is worn, which is, worn on their wrists or in their necks. So the healthy person comes there and brings an amulet, right? And, it's a kind of a lucky charm, this amulet. So it is believed that by wearing this, the person will get back to the good health. Then let's go forward, and the singer says, and I'm quoting again, "Listen to the sound of this sweet ornament." What is this sweet ornament? This is the amulet. "And follow me to your sweet home. I tie this ridden creeper to fasten your soul to your body. Follow the footprint of this cock. Come with me to your home." So in these lines, it is being said that the amulet is making a very sweet sound. And by listening to the sound, the good health will come back to the sick person. Also, we notice that the tribes depend on nature for their good health, for their good luck. So there is this dependence on nature. Natural imagery is once again predominantly present, even in this third Adi song. So finally, the song ends with the singer asking good health to return to the person. Now, another very important thing is that a rooster, a cock, or a hen, kind of a kind of a bird, is being given. Just like in the corn song, if you remember, in the previous lecture we discussed how a fowl was given. So you notice that something or the other is being offered to placate the gods, to please the gods, to appease someone who's more powerful than the tribals. Basically, it hints that there is something more powerful than these tribals. They don't consider themselves as the center of the universe. They are subservient to something, and there is this sense of humility also in these songs, because the tribals know that they are powerless in the face of certain energies and certain symbols, and therefore they want to please them, they want to appease them, they want to pacify them by giving them certain offerings. So this is the part of similarly in this song, that is the Adi song, a rooster is being given. This is because there is a problem, and for that problem they are trying to find a solution, and something is being given so that they can find a solution. They believe that nature is responsible to them, that nature will respond to their human actions, and that is why they associate nature with God. So the idea of giving a sacrifice in the two songs, in the song, on the Adi song, on the recovery of lost health, and the previous also, it is important because they associate nature with God. And they honor this, what you can say, interrelatedness between nature and humans, right? So basically this Adi song for the recovery of lost health, it is basically kind of a hymn that is chanted in the Miri Agom tribes, right? To attract the spirit of good health back to the body of an ill person. So the above lines that we just now read are chanted in a ritual performed, as I mentioned, by the maternal uncle of the ill person. Now, one very important feature that can be observed in the Adi song is that how there is a correlation between the various planes and levels of existence and time, isn't it? Time, as we all know, is a very, very different concept when it comes to the tribal imagination. Okay, time and space, right? So you can see that there is a relation between the various planes of existence. And so this is because the Adi song mentions that good health is out there in the world, but it has left the person, and now it can be called back. And in doing so, they are giving them something. They are offering them, a sacrifice as an appeasement. So therefore, there is this deep sense of acknowledgement of the fact that you can say nothing is permanent, and tribals do not own nature. Owning, conquering, ravishing, destroying nature is more modern, and it's a materialistic idea, obviously fueled by capitalism and the, what you can say, the relentless pursuit of man in conquering the world around him, right? However, in these tribal songs, in tribal literature, this is not so. This is not the norm. And in the tribal societies, they do not believe in conquering and defeating nature, but rather coexisting, living in close proximity, coexisting in harmony and living, with nature, right? And that is why even the tribals use the natural resources very judiciously. Today, when we talk about climate change, it is highly imperative that each and every person who wishes to be educated, today, they must be educated with the idea of climate change. And if we talk about saving our environment, then we also have to understand that it was originally in the tribal literature where we can find the first examples of conservation of nature, because we need to take these lessons from them, right? Nature has to be respected. These are the ideas that we get from tribal literature. And nature must be used in a judicious manner, in a sustainable manner, isn't it? Because, the tribals, basically, the idea is that the tribals do not see any difference between themselves and the environment and the surroundings and the nature in which they are living. This is very important. This is an important aspect of tribal literature. They believe that they are a part of the environment, and that environment also is a part of them. They believe that nature is their home, okay, and they have to live in close vicinity with nature. They also believe that nature is a living entity. So these few points are very important. They don't believe that nature is a non-living entity, right? But rather they believe in this metaphysical concept of nature as what you can say a living entity, nature as a breathing entity. And therefore, they have to respect nature. And they are also just a part of nature and not the ones who will conquer nature. Very important to understand. So these ideas were present in all these three songs which were there in our syllabus. So with this, I come to the end of this third song as well. And in all these songs, the Munda song, the Kond song, as well as the Adi song, we notice that the predominant imagery is of nature. In all these three songs, there were certain elements which were again and again being repeated, which were recurring, and which were extremely common. These are animals, natural imagery, natural descriptions, certain metaphysical energies. So these are some of the elements which form an important part of almost all tribal literature. With this, we end this unit on tribal verses, and in the subsequent unit, we will read Dalit literature, which is the next unit titled Dalit Voices. We will try to understand some features of Dalit literature and why Dalit literature is so very important in the current times. So I'll see you all in the next lecture with the next unit on Dalit Voices. Thank you for your attention and I wish you all the best. Jai Hind, goodbye.